Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. Before we begin today's reading, I'd like to introduce you to my sponsor Keen and tell you how they can help you. So, Keen is an online platform that's been operational since 25 years now and allows you to easily find and connect with a psychic advisor 24/7. Their advisors can help you on a multitude of subjects such as love, family, career, any astrological questions you might have. And it's really simple to get a reading on Keen. You just need to create an account, choose from the many readers that are online, and you're good to go. You can then talk to an advisor of your choice through chat or call. I always use the chat option, and I love how prompt the advisors are with their replies. As a new customer on Keen, you can talk to a psychic advisor for just $1 for the first 5 minutes. Simply click the link in my description box, trykeen.com/happyhightarot, and enjoy your first reading. In today's picker card reading, we will find out who will you marry, all the details about your future spouse. So you can see an image on your screen right now. You've got three options to choose from. Feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on all your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hello group 1, if you guys chose the first image, let's find out who will you marry. We will start by taking a look at your person's characteristics, their nature, their personality. We'll find out something about their profession. How will your chemistry with them be like? What will be the equation between you guys? Have you already met them or not? And then we will close the reading by taking a look at their initials and their possible physical description. So let's get into it. The cards that came out for you guys are reptilians, which says predator, survival, tyrannical. Then we have eagle that says seize opportunities courageously. And we have alchemist, which says transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. All right, so definitely your future spouse is someone that has a rather strong and intimidating personality. I don't think that it is very easy for a stranger to walk up to your future spouse and just say hi and introduce themselves, because that is the kind of intimidating aura that your future spouse just exudes pretty much all the time. I'm also being told that your future spouse, despite having this very rowdy and rough and tough exterior, they're not actually like that. They might be one of those people for whom it is said that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I can see though over here with reptilians and eagle that your future spouse is an opportunist, but only in terms of their career, not otherwise. Like, this is not the kind of person who will trample someone in front of them just to get ahead. That is not how your future spouse is. But definitely your future spouse knows how to survive in today's world, and there is cutthroat competition around. So naturally there's nothing wrong about being an opportunistic and looking out for yourself. So that is what your future spouse does. Somewhere, because I also have survival over here, I do feel like the reason why your future spouse is like this today has a backstory somewhere. It is quite possible that growing up there were a lot of things that your future spouse was denied of, or they were treated poorly, or some sort of injustice happened with them, which is why. Okay, so I'm being told that your future spouse got this realization quite early on in their life that nobody will come to save them, nobody will come to take a stand for them, and they have got to do what they have got to do in order to survive, in order to get ahead. So that's what they do. Your future spouse is someone who has a futuristic vision, in the sense that every decision that your future spouse takes today, they're not just thinking about the next, let's say, 2 years ahead. They are already thinking about how is this going to impact them long term. So we're talking 5 years, 10 years, like that. A visionary for sure. There is such a lovely energy over here to your future spouse of the alchemist, because this tells me that not only is your future spouse a visionary, but they also know how to bring those dreams into reality. So this is not the kind of person who will simply dream. They will take inspired action towards those dreams and towards those goals. I can see that your future spouse might be someone who is a person of many talents, is what I heard specifically. Of course, they might be someone who has a lot of interest in science, chemistry, physics, subjects like that. But this does not necessarily mean that they have a scientific, like a career in science. That's not necessary. It's just something that interests them. There is a bit of a loner energy to your future spouse. So I do feel like this is not the kind of person who has a huge social circle. I do feel like this is the kind of person who prioritizes the quality of friends that they have over the quantity of friends that they have. So, and again, these days that's also great, quality over quantity always. So that's nice. I can see that it's not just their own goals that they know how to materialize, but if anybody for that matter was to discuss their passions with your future spouse would guide them in a perfect manner, that okay, so this is your goal, I think this is how you should go about it, and it'll always work out. Your future spouse is also someone who is extremely brave, bold, and courageous. They do not shy away from speaking their mind, they do not shy away from taking a stand against something. They call a spade, and it doesn't really matter to them what anybody else will think or how anybody else will feel in terms of getting offended. I want to specify that if they think that they are right, they will speak up. They will not hesitate because someone else might not find it appropriate. They don't care. Your future spouse just couldn't care less. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and we have Justice. So for a lot of you, your future spouse's profession might be in the legal field. They might be a judge, they might be a lawyer. For some of you, they might work as a legal aid. I'm also hearing specifically that they might be and I do not know the technicalities of it, but the lawyers who work closely with the police. So that might also be something that your future spouse is in. Also, with the Eight of Pentacles over here, for a few of you, maybe you too are in the legal field. And perhaps that's how you guys meet. Although I will be making a separate video on the when, where, and how of it all, because I want to get as many details as I'm covering in that video also. Okay, with the Eight of Pentacles over here, your future spouse is the kind of person who always gives everything their 100%, and it isn't just their career, it is their friendships, their family, their passions, their interests, their personal relationships, whether it is with you or whether it is with their friends. Everyone gets their undivided and wholehearted attention and sincere efforts always. This is not the kind of person who will ever half-ass anything. They'll always whole-ass it. And this is interesting. I said that your future spouse might have these intimidating looks to them. But over here we have the King of Cups. So I do feel like this is a closeted softy over here that we have. But then this soft side of theirs, this emotional side of theirs, only comes out in front of a handful of people and not everybody else. And obviously you will be one of those people because they're showing up as the King of Cups for you. So you will get to see their emotional side, you will get to see their sentimental side, you will get to see their inner child in full action. But the minute they step foot outside the house, and the house, I am being told, the home that you both will be making together, that'll be their sanctuary. So the minute they step foot outside of their sacred space, they will again adorn this rough exterior over here. So group one, if you tell anybody, for instance, let's say that if you told anyone that your future spouse bought a bubble blowing machine and was blowing bubbles, people will find that extremely ridiculous, and they'll think that you're just making the whole thing up because it just does not go with their public persona. But that is how it is, and you will be one of those few people whom this person trusts enough to be vulnerable with, to be themselves with, without any inhibitions. And I think that is so sweet. Of course, with the presence of Justice over here, we can also see how beautifully you and your future spouse will complement each other. I don't think you will have any compatibility issues with them because mostly you both will always agree on everything. Your likes and dislikes might not be that varied. And if at all they are, justice tells me that you both will always find it very easy to find some common ground, some common denominator. Your future spouse might have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Libra in their chart. Okay, now let's see how will your chemistry be with your future spouse. So for that we have abundance. There's good chemistry. This is great chemistry. There's just so much of it. And I'll tell you what I like about abundance coming out when I asked about chemistry, because this tells me that it won't be limited to just one thing. Like it won't always just be about physical touch. It won't always just be about, I don't know, gift giving or any other notions you might have of what good chemistry means for you, how your body language is perhaps when you guys are around each other, holding hands and whatnot. Because abundance tells me that it'll be a little bit of everything. And there is just this lovely, holistic vibe coming from it. Gift giving is definitely big when it comes to your person's, your future spouse's love language. So be prepared for that. I mean, obviously, I don't think you'll have any complaints. Who doesn't like gifts? So whenever your future spouse is in a very happy mood or they want to express their love towards you, you can expect a gift from them for sure. In fact, I feel like your future spouse is going to spoil you silly, group one. Like they'll spend more money on you than you ever could have imagined. And again, it's all coming from a place of love. It's not like they want to show you how much money they have. That's not it. That's not the kind of person that they are, even though, of course, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if people judge them to be that way. With abundance over here, I also feel like just getting to be around each other and being in each other's presence, being able to really bask in that, will be on most days good enough for you guys. So, the kind of chemistry you share with your future spouse, like I said, it's very wholesome. That's the word that I heard. It's so wholesome. Okay, now let's see how will the bond be between you guys. And for that, we have talent guides, which says spirit mentors and teachers. If you're a feminine, maybe this is what your future spouse looks like. Anyway, so I love this when asking about the kind of bond you have with each other, because this tells me that as spouses, as a couple, not only will you both grow in your personal lives, milestones in your marriage and such, but you both will grow as people and professionals as well. And with talent guides over here, I can see that time and time again, your future spouse will help you to get more in touch with your potential, help you realize what all it is that's out there for you to see, to explore. And of course, if you have any talents already, I feel like your future spouse is going to be one of your biggest cheerleaders. And vice versa, of course, you will do the same for them. And I especially love that the imagery over here is this man who's absolutely smiling from year to year, because this tells me that you and your future spouse, the kind of bond that you guys have with each other, there will be no jealousy, there will be no competition, there will be no rivalry. Even if, let's say, you were to one up them, they would be very happy for you. And if they are far ahead of you in their career, again, you will have no complaints. You will genuinely be very happy for them. And this again brings me back to this wholesome energy that there already exists between you guys. So, you guys will find not only life partners, but also very good teachers in each other. And when I say teacher, I mean just like someone who can keep nudging you in the right direction. Okay, now let us ask, have you already met this person or not? And a little disclaimer over here, this is a general reading. If you already are in a happy relationship with someone, great. And if you are single, then again, take this with a pinch of salt. What is it though? Okay, we have no over here. So a lot of you are single and you haven't met your future spouse already. Maybe you are dating people, but um okay, if this is a no and you are dating people, I think you should keep up with it, because maybe you haven't really met anybody that matches this description yet, but hopefully you will. Like I said, I will be covering all of that in another video soon. And again, if you are in a happy relationship with someone and you know for sure that this is the one and this is the person I'll end up getting married to, please do not get triggered by this. Okay, now let's see something about their physical appearance, and then we'll close the reading with their initials. So we have tall, long face, thin lips, a beard, dark or tan complexion, and brown hair. A lot of this actually matches with this guy, don't you guys think? Okay, what might be the possible initials of group one's future spouse spirit? We have M and W both. We have a Y, E, A, another A, V, I, O, E, F, and another O. So this might be someone who has more than one A, E, or O in their name. And this can also be someone whose first name or surname both begin with the same letter. All right, group one. So these are all the messages that I have for you guys right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 2, if you guys chose the second image, let's find out all the details about who will you marry. We will start the reading by taking a look at their nature, their personality, their signs, their profession. Then we will see how your chemistry will be like with them, what will be the kind of bond that you share with them, have you already met them or not, something about their physical description, and then we'll close the reading with their initials. So let us begin. The cards that came out for you guys, group 2, are Merkaba, which says movement, long distance, travel, excitement. Then we have Giraffe, which says aspire to higher knowledge and wisdom. And we have Prince, which says romantic charm and potential for power. Very, very sweet. The color blue might have some significance in this connection. Maybe it is your future spouse's favorite color. Maybe it is your favorite color. Maybe when you meet your future spouse for the first time, either one of you is dressed in something blue. Okay, with long distance travel over here, I'm getting two messages. The first message is that a lot of you might have a destination wedding. And the second message is that you and your future spouse might be culturally different from each other. You both might belong to different regions, different cities, different states, or maybe even for a few of you, different countries altogether. Your future spouse is the kind of person who does not like stagnation. They do not like to be put in a box. They're always trying something new. They're always trying to expand their knowledge. And the way they like to go about it is through exploring. Like instead of reading up on stuff, they would actually prefer to experience all of those things firsthand. So, for instance, let's say that there is a particular community or culture that they want to know more about. They will not simply read up on it, although, of course, they might do some homework first in that regard. But they would actually travel down to that place, interact with those people, and through the people, they would learn more about their culture, their customs, their traditions, their recipes, food, and all those things. So, this is a traveler. And another thing Spirit just told me, group 2, is that if your future spouse does not get to travel for long periods of time for any reason, work or any other commitment, they start getting very restless. So they do not like to stay indoors for a very long period of time. And when I say indoors, I don't just mean your house. They would want to step outside the city as well. I can also say that this is the kind of person who in general is very excited about life. I feel like this is one of those people from whom we can all learn how to live life in its truest sense, because they're always finding pleasure and joy in the simplest of things. I think it takes a lot for this person's mood to go bad. I don't think usually they allow any petty thing or any petty person or any petty thought to interrupt them. and to ruin their day or to ruin their mood. It almost seems as if they live in this bubble, they live in this own world, and they're very, very happy living there, existing there on that plane. And I'm being told that a lot of people try to bring down this person, but they're not able to. I'm also being told, group 2, that your future spouse is divinely protected. So that is great. Maybe they have really, really powerful angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and the like. Your future spouse, for sure, is someone who is extremely knowledgeable, and not just in the area in which they have um, got their degree in, or the area in which they work, but otherwise also they seem to have a lot of worldly knowledge, which, like I said, most of it comes from their travels. Now, with the prince archetype over here, it is quite possible that your future spouse does not look their age. So, for instance, let's say that if this is someone who is in their mid 30s, they might look like a college boy or a school boy. So, yeah, they do not look their age, they look younger than their age. And of course, it is highly likely that there might actually be an age difference between you guys. Your future spouse might be younger than you, especially if you are a feminine and they are a masculine. There might also be a significant height gap between you guys. Again, if you're a feminine and they're a masculine, they might tower over you. Your future spouse's love language is gift giving and physical touch, is what I'm being told. And with romantic charm over here, the best part about your spouse is that sweeping you off your feet will come very naturally to them. Like, honestly speaking, they won't even have to try too hard to impress you, because just by being themselves, they will be able to impress you. And whenever they want to have any or create any sweet, romantic, or sexy moment with you, again, it'll not be a difficult job for them. In fact, group 2, if you're the kind of person who gets awkward or embarrassed very easily, or if you're the kind of person who starts blushing very easily, get ready, because this is something you're going to have to experience for the rest of your lifetime with this person, because they will not shy away from engaging in activities like this. And this is so sweet, For instance, when they come back home from work, they might bring a bunch of flowers for you. They might sometimes dress in the colors that you like to make you happy. They might ask you to pick their outfits, also, is what I'm being told. And again, this is not in the sense of them, like, it's not like they want you to mother them, because of course there is a minute difference between both the things, overly relying on your spouse for everything. But this is stemming out from a place of love and romance, and that's it. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. So we have strength, then we have the two of cups, and we have the Six of Pentacles. So your future spouse might have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Leo in their chart. This is very interesting. We have strength over here with the Two of Cups. So first of all, anyone who assumes that your future spouse can be easily manipulated or toyed with, just because they have this energy to them, is gravely, gravely mistaken. Because if push comes to shove, your future spouse knows how to step up into this energy of this ferocious, ferocious energy of strength, and they can take down any hater, any competition like this. It wouldn't even, I mean, it'll be like child's play for them. So your future spouse seems to be the kind of person who has a very gentle and soft demeanor, but, and I mean this in a good way, they are a wolf in a sheepskin. So anybody who thinks that, oh, it's just a sheep, no, they're not. And I think it'll be very exciting to watch this person embody that wolf um, characteristic, to take down anybody who messes with them. And not just them, anyone, everyone who's precious to them, they will act like that warrior immediately to defend their people. Now, with the Two of Cups over here, I can see that you share a very deep bond with your future spouse. With the Two of Cups over here, maybe a lot of you already are in a relationship with your future spouse. So if you're currently dating someone, maybe this description matches them. If not, if you are single, then with this Two of Cups over here, I can tell you that this is definitely a soulmate connection that you're inviting into your life. And for a few of you, I'm also being told that even if you haven't physically met them yet, you might have started seeing them in your dreams. Maybe you're not able to recall the dreams to the T, and maybe you don't even recall all of their facial features, but at least some of it. Like, you know, you've been seeing someone, but you don't know who that is, so most likely it is your future spouse. With the Six of Pentacles over here, I love this because this tells me that there will always be a lot of balance and reciprocity between you and your future spouse. You'll never have this complaint that, oh, I'm the one who's doing everything in this marriage, I'm the one putting in all the effort, I'm the one making all the sacrifices, I'm the one who's compromising for pretty much everything. You'll never have that complaint because your future spouse will always meet you halfway in pretty much everything, whether it is kids, whether it is household expenses, and of course things outside traditional marital things also. They'll always be there with you as your plus one in every sense of the word. Now, with the Six of Pentacles over here, most likely your future spouse has a profession in the field of finance. So, this can be banking, trading, insurance, stock markets, and the like. Okay, now let's see how will your chemistry be with your future spouse. And for that, we have sexual freedom. So, this is fiery chemistry over here between you and your future spouse. Now, we've already seen over here that things like romance comes very naturally to your future spouse, but I feel like they are very skilled at the art of seduction as well. And it'll not be very difficult for them to, sweep you off your feet and make you go weak in the knees. And your sex life with your future spouse will always be very amazing. Even after you've had kids, you will still have date nights. You both will still always take out time for each other. And notice how in this card over here of sexual freedom, you can see these two rays of golden light kind of getting entwined into each other and creating sort of like this infinity symbol over here. So when you have sex with your future spouse, it'll feel like your souls are merging into one. And we do have, of course, the energy of the Two of Cups over here as well. So that is great. You will, and like this isn't a lusty energy, with chemistry over here. It is so, it feels really pure, and if you are tapping into this energy right now, I'm sure a lot of you can feel it too. Some of you just felt butterflies in your stomach. Okay, now let's see how will your bond be with your future spouse. And for that, we have mindfulness, which says peaceful presence, quiet mind. I don't know if you guys have come across those reels on your Instagram. I'm sure some of you have. So basically, um, it's this girl, and there's this lot of background chatter, and then she'll just come and she'll hug her husband, and the um, text that appears on the reel says, "This is what he does to my mind. He drowns out all of the chatter. He drowns out all of my worries and my anxiety and my tension." I mean, I'm sure that's what it means. So, if you have seen those reels, know for a fact that's what's going to happen between you and your spouse. Also, that is the kind of bond you will be sharing with each other, wherein just by being in each other's presence, you both will feel so healed, so calm, so peaceful. Let's say you've had a very chaotic day at work, very difficult, too much work, lots of stress, lots of, who knows, maybe even politics. And then when you come back home, and the minute you both embrace each other, you forget about all of your worries. So just one hug, one tight hug, and all your stress goes for a toss. And that is so good. In fact, peaceful presence over here tells me that another aspect to your relationship with your spouse, group 2, will be that you both won't be the kind of couple who are very codependent or very clingy and who cannot do even one thing without the other person being around. You both will be the kind of couple who, as long as you know, okay, my spouse is around here somewhere, I don't know where, maybe they're off in some corner of the house doing their own thing, but they're there, and that is enough. Okay, now let's see, have you already met your spouse or not? And this is a general reading. We have yes over here. So for a lot of you, you have already met your future spouse. And I was getting that over here, of course, with the Two of Cups also. So a lot of you are already dating this person. And just in case you are single and you do not know anyone like this just yet, stay tuned for my other video where I'll be covering when and how will you be meeting your spouse. But most likely with Two of Cups and yes, perhaps a union in the 5D has already taken place between you both, and maybe that's why you've been seeing them in your dreams. Now let's see what is their physical description, and then we'll close the reading with your spouse's initials. We have piercing, so they might have a piercing somewhere on their body. Pale or fair complexion. Round face. They might have a tattoo on their body or more than one tattoo. For some of you, they might have an olive or brown skin tone. Maybe they have brown hair and a fair complexion, that's also possible. Or maybe they have a brown skin tone or like a tan skin tone. And their hair are, I don't know, blonde or platinum blonde, something like that. And finally, we have jewelry. So this might be someone who likes to wear fashion jewelry or accessorize themselves. Okay, Spirit, what might be the possible initials of the future spouse? So we have B over here, O. Future spouse. Another O. We have E, M, Q, U. Another Q. Spirit has interrupted me to give you a message, group 2. You noticed how the third letter took time to come out. I'm being told that a few of you will not be able to identify your future spouse even though they're around you. Of course, eventually you will, but initially you might struggle a little bit in trying to be sure that this is the one. Okay, then we have G, L, D, and I. All right, group 2. So these are all the messages that I have for you guys right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello group 3, if you guys chose the third image, let's find out everything about the person that you will be marrying. So we will start the reading by taking a look at your person's characteristics, nature, personality, what their profession is, their possible signs. Then we will see what kind of a chemistry will you have with your spouse, the kind of bond you'll share with them, have you already met them or not, some of their physical features, and we'll close the reading by taking a look at their initials. So let's get right into it. The cards that came out for you guys are Pentagram, which says harmony, protection, idealism. Then we have Butterfly that says be ready to transform with wisdom. Don Juan that says spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. First things first, with Don Juan over here, your future spouse is crazy good looking. All right, and they do attract a lot of attention from the same sex, from the opposite sex. This is someone whom people in general, Spirit just told me, conventionally good looking. Okay, so your future spouse is someone who is conventionally good looking, conventionally sexy. But here's the thing. Wow. Okay, group 3. While your future spouse is an object of many people's desire, they do not allow access to themselves to just about anyone, because the first card that flew out for them was talking of protection over here. And somewhere with idealism, I feel like your future spouse, they have this trickster energy to them, not in terms of like they enjoy breaking people's hearts or anything. No, they don't mind harmless flirting. And I mean, right now, of course, it's not like they're married to you or anything, but they have a very clear idea about the kind of person they want to be with, and they're not going to compromise on that. And I feel like group 3, this is something that you can relate to, because perhaps you too have a lot of suitors, and maybe just like your spouse, currently you too go out on dates with people, but you are also very clear about what is okay for you and what isn't, what is acceptable and what isn't. With pentagram over here, another message that I'm getting is that your future spouse is very popular, but not a lot is known about them. Your future spouse is the kind of person who only reveals limited information about themselves. And I feel like nobody knows a lot about them besides the information that they put out themselves. So let's say that other than whatever your future spouse posts on their social media, precious little is known about them, because they are very secretive when it comes to that. In fact, actually, I don't think secretive is the word. They're just very selective. Yeah, they're just very selective about whom do they want to share details of their personal life with. Oh, okay. So I just got another message for you, group 3. Even though there always are a lot of people who keep hovering and fluttering around your future spouse, there still are instances where your future spouse finds themselves to be rather lonely. And not to say that they don't have any friends. This is from a romantic point of view. They have a lot of options around them, a lot of people who are interested in them, but they don't like the options that they have. They don't like what they have in front of them. And it hits them out of nowhere that they are alone. It hits them out of nowhere that they are lonely and that they're looking for love, and they possibly haven't found that love yet. So when they meet you, group 3, they are going to go crazy. They will fall head over heels for you. And this is interesting with the Don Juan archetype over here, group 3. Just in case at the moment you are feeling a little bit restless, because I said that this is someone who's very good looking and very popular and very much in demand, and you might feel like, why would someone like that fall for someone like me? Because it's understandable. Maybe you have some body image issues, maybe you don't think that you are good looking, whatever the case might be. But get this, when your future spouse sees you, when they meet you, they will just think of you. Like, all they can think of from that point onwards would be you. And it happens a lot. We think that we're not good looking, but then for someone else, maybe we're the best thing that ever happened to them. We're the most beautiful person that they've ever met. And I think that is what's going to happen between you and your spouse also. No matter how good looking they might be, no matter how much in demand they might be, for them, you will be like the ultimate epitome of beauty and hotness and whatnot. So they will help you to fall in love with yourself, is what I just heard, group 3. And I think that is so deep and so amazing, that they will help you fall in love with yourself. Another thing over here with butterfly is that your future spouse is the kind of person who always keeps themselves very in line with whatever's trending and whatever's going on. So this is the kind of person who likes to smell good, who likes to feel good, who likes to look good. They're always up to date with the latest styles, latest trends. And mind you, they do not do this with the purpose of fitting in, and not with the purpose of, being a trendsetter, but because they genuinely like to do so. Another thing over here with the butterfly card, your future spouse is the kind of person who's always upgrading themselves, who's always energetically upgrading themselves. They always try to learn about new things. They always try to gain more knowledge on different things. They like to keep themselves up to date with whatever's happening in the world, current affairs, and such. So they always try to become better than who they were yesterday. So the only person that your future spouse is in competition with is themselves. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. We have the Knight of Swords, the Empress, and the Ace of Pentacles. There might be some age gap between you and your future spouse, especially if you're a feminine watching this. Your spouse might be slightly younger than you. Maybe give or take, there can be a 5 years age gap between you and your spouse. Okay, this is interesting. Your future spouse, especially if they are a masculine, I feel like their yin yang is very balanced. So this is not the kind of man who will ever display or exhibit signs of um, toxic masculinity. They're not the kind of person who will fall into that conventional manhood stereotype. Look, for instance, men don't cry and whatnot. They will not submit to any of those age old norms. Let's say that if you're watching this really sentimental, mushy movie with your future spouse, and if any sentimental scene comes up, they will cry. They will not hold back on their tears. They will express how they're feeling. And I think that's great because a lot of people don't. Of course, feminines can do that too, but a lot of masculines do that, wherein they do not express how they're truly feeling, or they tend to intellectualize their feelings. But your future spouse will not be like the rest, like in this regard at least. Whatever it is that they're feeling, good, bad, happiness, if they're feeling sad, if they're feeling anxious, they will fully display those emotions. I can also see over here with the Knight of Swords. Okay, your future spouse might be someone who talks very fast. And when you first meet them or when you first interact with them, you might have some difficulty trying to understand what the hell is it that they just said. And you might actually have to ask them to slow down a little bit so that you can understand what it is that they're saying. But I'm being told, ooh, interesting, there's a reason behind it, group 3. With the Knight of Swords over here and the Empress, your future spouse starts talking rapidly when they get very excited. And when they see you face to face, they will get very excited. And just look at this, they will be smitten by you. They will get very turned on by you the minute that they see you. Like I said, this will be love at first sight for them. And because they'll be so excited and all of that hormonal rush and whatnot, that is why they'll be talking so rapidly, which will make it difficult for you to get a hang of it. Your future spouse is like this. What's the phrase? They're full of energy. I do not think that they get tired that easily. I think they have very, very good stamina. They'll keep you very satisfied, group 3. So, congratulations on that. I can also see that your future spouse is someone who loves to travel a lot. And of course, they will be more than happy if you can accompany them in all of those travels. Your future spouse does not like monotony. They do not like to blindly follow customs or traditions or rules just because people before them have been doing so. And especially because we did have that butterfly card for them also, I feel like if something is not making sense to your future spouse, they will not oblige unnecessarily. Like they will not simply say yes to things because they're supposed to. If they don't feel like it, they won't do it. It's as simple as that. Your future spouse might be a philanthropist. They might be someone who has their own business, who has their own startup. They are very wealthy, that is for sure. It might also be, okay, and this is a very specific message, but Spirit just relayed it across. For a few of you, your future spouse might be someone who's already made a lot of money, because of which they will not have to wait until the um, popular retirement age. They might take an early retirement because by that time they've made enough money to have a comfortable rest of the life. Your future spouse also seems to be someone who's very, very big on, like I said, philanthropy, charity. They keep giving away money to the needy. That's something that they're a big, big believer in. With the Empress and Ace of Pentacles, group 3, again a specific message, but just in case you've always wanted to set up a business of your own, but you weren't able to find any good investors or even someone who believed in you and your business, your future spouse will happily and readily invest in you, invest in your dream. For a few of you, your future spouse, they might be the younger sibling, they might be the only child, or they might also look like their mother. They might resemble their mother a lot. Okay, now let's see how will your chemistry be with your future spouse. So for that we have maturity over here. You see how this, like, we have one figure standing at the back while the other figure over here is busy doing her work. I feel like the essence of the chemistry between you both will be understanding, support, and just being there for each other, no questions asked. There is a very unconditional energy to the chemistry that you both share. And it is quite possible that both of you are old souls, even though both of you might be young at heart. And so, chemistry for you will not always mean, like raw and passionate sexual encounters. It can simply be being together, spending quality time together, working on something together, supporting each other, listening to each other's stories of how the day went, or stories from each other's childhood and things like that. I feel like the kind of people you guys are, and contrary to their image, because for a lot of you, I feel like your future spouse has this playboy image, which isn't true at all. Because, like I said, they're very clear about what they want and what they do not want. So it's not like they go around breaking hearts. They do not do that. Anyways, like I said, I feel like you and your future spouse, for both of you, a deep connect is what matters more. And that is what your chemistry will be based on: understanding each other very well, supporting each other very well, being each other's guiding light. And again, so the feminine over here is busy doing something, and then we can see this figure hovering behind her, looking on. So if you want to set up a creative business, group 3, and if you're a feminine watching this, know for sure that your future spouse will invest in your business and guide you along the way. Somewhere I also feel like, and this is not related to the chemistry bit, but this is an extra message that I'm getting. Your ancestors, especially if you're the feminine watching this reading, your ancestors are playing a key role in bringing you and your spouse together. Okay, now let's see what kind of a bond will you guys share. So for that, we have Goddess of Dreams, which says vision, intuition, and receptivity. This will be like those unspoken bonds of love. Okay, not really unspoken, the sort wherein you don't necessarily need words in order to understand how your partner is feeling. You can communicate to each other simply by one look at the other person. Both of you might have the gift of intuition, so you can also intuitively pick up on how your partner is feeling. Maybe one of you is a psychic and gets visions or downloads in their dreams, which also help you to better your relationship and strengthen your relationship with your spouse. But more so with the Goddess of Dreams over here, I feel like the kind of bond that you will share with your future spouse, group 3, will be along the lines of understanding each other's soul, and not just the surface personality that everyone has access to. The deeper parts of each other, like I said, like the soul, how the person is feeling, what are they experiencing, what are they not communicating through words but is going on in their head or in their heart. So that is the depth of the bond that you both will share. Now let's see whether you've already met this person or not. So for that, we have within the next few months. So I'm getting a few messages over here. If you already are in a relationship with someone, group 3, then maybe within the next few months, your partner will propose to you. And if you are single, then perhaps within the next few months, and this is a timeless reading, you might meet your future spouse. Okay, now let's see their physical description, and then we close the reading with their initials. So we have muscular, we have curly hair, short height, red hair for some, green eyes, very might be unusual where you live, and an oval face. Okay, Spirit, what might be the initials of the person that group 3 will be marrying? What might be the initials of the person that group 3 will be marrying, Spirit? Okay, so we have O, M, Q, QT. We have V, I, another Q, a U, one more I, N, V, G, and this might also be a W. All right, group 3. So these are all the messages that I have for you guys right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here and hit the bell icon when you do so. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.